Good morning, my dear students. Today we will continue section 3, chapter 23. Last section we explained what's the meaning of metabolism, what's the meaning of catabolism, and what is the meaning of anabolism. Today we will continue production of energy. But before we will start to explain molecules which are responsible for energy in living cells, let us return to your homework. I told you to search for producers and consumers. What's the meaning of producers and what is the meaning of consumers? Producers means living cells that can produce their own food by themselves, but consumers which cannot produce their foods and eat from other ways. So here plants are producers. Almost 99% of plants are producers, consumers like humans or animals. ATP, energy for the cell. Cells require energy to make the proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, and nucleic acids that are necessary for life. So, here, carbohydrates can be produced inside the plants. Lipids, proteins, nucleic acids can be produced inside our living cells in our body. The original source for almost all of the energy needed by living system is the sun. So the sun is the main source of energy in the earth. Autotrophs such as plants and photosynthetic bacteria. What's the meaning of autotrophs? Autotrophs means producers that can produce their own food by using sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to make carbon-containing biomolecules. Carbon-containing biomolecules like carbohydrates. And this process is called also photosynthesis. Now, ATP energy for the cell. Photosynthesis occurs in the cell of plants and algae within structure called chloroplast. So, chloroplast is the organelle which is responsible for the photosynthesis. The chloroplast contains chlorophyll, which is the green pigment, which is also an organic molecule that absorbs solar energy. So chlorophyll is a green pigment and can absorb solar energy. This energy is captured immediately in the bond of two compounds, one of which is adenosine triphosphate, ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So here adenosine means adenine group and sugar group, which are connected with three phosphate groups. ATP is a high energy molecule that plant cells use to make carbohydrates. So carbohydrates, we can build or form carbohydrates by using energy from ATP. The other compound known as NADPH, is also used in carbohydrate forming reactions. Living things, including most microorganisms which depend on plants or other animals for food, are called heterotrophs. So heterotrophs means consumer. Heterotrophs use the energy obtained in the breakdown of complex molecules to drive chemical reaction in cells. This slide explains ATP-ADP cycle. You are responsible only for how ATP will break down to form ADP and release of one bond or one molecule or one group of phosphate group of the 3 phosphate groups. So here the cycle between ATP and the ADP, adenosine diphosphate. So ATP is adenosine triphosphate, 3 phosphates. Adenosine diphosphate means 2 phosphate groups. Is the primary energy exchange mechanism in the body. ATP is the molecule that serves to carry energy from energy storing molecules, carbohydrates, lipids, and protein to specific energy requiring process in the cells. When ATP is hydrolyzed to ADP, energy is released to power the cell's activities. So the energy released by destroying the bond between the second phosphate group and the third phosphate bond is used for the cell's activity. As we see in this structure, adenosine triphosphate, this is the base, sugar group, and this 3 phosphate group. Adenosine diphosphate, the same, but you have here only 2 phosphate groups. So the bond here, this bond, is responsible for the energy released for the biological activity. So here, ATP plus molecule of water, it will release phosphate group and ADP. Okay, now we finished our section today. Thank you. See you tomorrow, inshallah.